Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the Marvel Legends X-Force Series Wendigo Build-A-Figure Wave Guardian figure review. Let's do it.
This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini matey I'm fucking with. Hype beast we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about it.
6 figures in a wave. You're going to need all 6 figures to complete the Wendigo Build-A-Figure. And a quick look at the artwork on the side of the box. It is the same on both sides. Let's get this guy open, see what's what. Alright, here we go. James Hudson, aka Guardian, the fearless leader of Canada's premier super team Alpha Flight. This is actually our second Guardian from Hasbro. The first was released in the Ares Build-A-Figure wave. This was early on when Hasbro had just taken over the ranks from Toy Biz, and they were putting out some of the worst figures in Marvel Legends history. So this guy was long overdue for a redo, and I can tell you right off the bat that this figure totally shits on the original Ares wave version, but he does not come without some issues, and one thing in particular that I really can't stand about this figure is the head sculpt. Aside from that though, it's actually a pretty solid offering. Guardian is packed in with the torso and the tail to complete the Wendigo Build-A-Figure. His bio reads, donning the maple leaf symbol of his home, James Hudson suits up in advanced battle armor and protects the earth as Guardian. So I'm not going to hold you guys up. I do like the buck that they picked for this guy. I believe this body mold was originally introduced on the Spider UK figure, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. It's nice to see them starting to round out an original Alpha Flight team after we got the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure last year, which in my opinion was one of the best Build-A-Figures of the year, probably one of the best Build-A-Figures of all time from Marvel Legends. And now we have the crew leader, Guardian, so hopefully they'll start rounding out the rest of the team and maybe they'll redo Puck. My major issue with this guy, like I said, is this head sculpt. I do not like this sort of sourpuss that he has here. This facial expression is just caca, man. I do not like this at all because everything else here looks pretty good. I mean, the costume is accurate. It's not too many paint imperfections, and you know, like I said, the actual buck is great. It does represent the character's body type, in my opinion. But this head sculpt, man. So like Wolverine before him, this is another character in the wave that was not packed in with any additional accessories aside from the Build-A-Figure parts. Would have been nice to get him some open hands, being that he is a character that is capable of flight. He can create force fields and he can shoot like energy blasts, and none of that is represented in whatever, you know, was packed in with him, because nothing was packed in with him. But you can get him in a decent flight pose at the very least. You know, it's a pretty well articulated buck. As you can see, the head can go back pretty far, and that's always essential for a character that is capable of flight. He'll look down, left, right, pivot. No issues with the head. The shoulders will come up pretty far. And you can do a full 360, upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, swivel, and a hinge on the wrists. You can remove the hands as well, so I don't know why they didn't pack in any additional hands. Decent ab crunch forward and back, waist swivel, T-joint at the pelvis, leg will come up that far, split will go just about that far, upper thigh swivel, double jointed knee, you get rotation at the upper boot, you get a hinge and a pivot on the foot. So like I said, good buck here, great articulation, but you know, I would have liked to see another option for the head sculpt. The good thing is that this is his classic uniform, so not only can he represent James Hudson, which he is intended to do, you can actually use him to double as Michael Pointer, who was a character that took on the Guardian, or took up the Guardian mantle after Alpha Flight was killed during the Initiative era of Marvel Comics. And that's when Omega Flight was formed. So it was the same costume basically, and you know, it's just a white guy with a mask on, so you can't really tell the difference. So if they start to round out some of the characters and figures from Omega Flight as well as Alpha Flight, then you know, that would be cool. There are a couple QC issues that you should probably be aware of and be cautious of when you get this guy in hand. Again, like I said during the review of the Wolverine figure, the X-Force Wolverine, this was early release of this wave, and it could be that some of these QC issues are just unique to my set and that they'll get worked out as more sets trickle out around the world. But I noticed that when I was trying to articulate this right arm, that it seemed like this peg might actually break if I'm not cautious. So that was one thing. And then I don't like the way that the hands sit in the wrist, or the pegs. They don't seem to sit as flush as I would like them to. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Those two things I'm a little uneasy about. Alright, a few quick size comparisons. On the far left is the Grandmaster from the Grandmaster and Korg 2-pack. And then right next to him is Korg. Smack dab in the middle is Guardian. And right next to Guardian is Wolverine, the X-Force version from this same wave. So obviously Wolverine, a Canadian dude by origin, has had plenty encounters and run-ins and team-ups with Alpha Flight. So you can see how he stacks up with the team leader there. And then on the right is the Molten Man Build-A-Figure wave Spider-Woman. And I put her in here just for a typical sort of like female buck, because at some point we are going to have to get the female members of Alpha Flight, and I wouldn't be surprised if they utilize this particular buck for someone. And then there he is next to his teammate Sasquatch, the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure on the left, which, like I said, is probably one of Hasbro's best of all time. He is a really great BAF. And then on the far right is the Puck Build-A-Figure. This is during a time when Hasbro was doing mini Build-A-Figures and pissing everybody off. But I definitely like to see them revisit Puck. I think he's a little too short. I think he should be just a little bit taller, and he should absolutely have way more articulation as Puck. That's part of his ability, is that he is super agile. He's doing flips and kicks and all of that good stuff. So I hope that they're going to be giving us newer versions of all of the members from Alpha Flight, aside from Sasquatch, because I'm good with this BAF. I just wish he had an additional fist for his left hand and an additional open hand for his right arm. Left arm, right arm. And then finally, you can't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been. And this was the Walmart exclusive Guardian from that Ares Build-A-Figure wave. And this was on a really articulated buck that Hasbro was putting out some time ago, but it's wonky. It's just so weird looking. And obviously, this newer version is the superior of the two. However, you know, I'm just not happy with this head sculpt on the newer version. But there's no question that this guy is the superior version, and you should never utilize this one again. So probably my least desired figure in this wave. However, he is still essential to your collection and essential to future things you may want to do in terms of ACBA. At least he is for me. So, you know, it's not like it's one that I would pass up on, and it's not like one you can pass up on if you want to complete the Wendigo. There are some army building possibilities with the Wendigo as well. Hopefully some customized out there will give us some different options for a head sculpt and bring some more value to this guy, but I still wouldn't pass up on him. I would recommend that you pick him up. So thanks for hanging out. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.
That's crispy.